Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd do a quick video. There's a few people that are having an issue with the Spectrum and I just wanted to help out. There's a thing on Retro Games Limited currently, and you'll see this post up on the screen. It says, we are aware that a very small number of the Spectrum have been shipped while still in the factory test state. To rectify this, we have developed a software fix that is easy to apply by downloading a small file and placing it on a USB stick formatted with FAT32 file systems. Find out more at, and then it's got the link for their website. So what we're going to do is quickly switch across to that link. This is what happens when you click on the link. It will come up to this page, and you'll notice from the video the other day that there were 5 options in that. There's now 2 extra ones, and we're going to go over both of those. First of all, we'll start with this one. It's unrelated, but it's only short. Why is part 2 of a game missing? Some of the games on the Spectrum carousel have a second part that is unlocked once you complete the first. It's much like the original cassette version of these games, where the second part could only be unlocked by typing in the code that was revealed on completing the first. The unlockable games with unlockable part 2 are Freddy Hardest, Fantis Game Over 2 and Army Moves. Once part 1 of the game is complete, the second part will appear on the carousel. So that's just a little bit of information for you. I figured we might as well have a look at that. And then this is the bit we're interested in for people who are having this problem. I'm not going to go over the whole page here because, as you can see, it's a whole thing here, but we've got the download at the bottom there to put on the stick. And it says we're aware of the very small number of Spectrum being shipped while still in the factory test state. To rectify this, people who see the factory test when powering on the Spectrum, we've developed a software fix that's easy to apply by downloading a small file, placing it on the USB stick format with FAT32 file system. You should only apply this fix if you see the factory test on the brand new Spectrum. So, if that's the problem that you've got, if you haven't done the memory stick, the USB stick yet, then follow my guide in the previous video to get that done if you need to. If you know how to do it yourself, then that's fine. Once you've done that, then you can put this on, and you can see it here. It says download the zip file, unzip the file, and it's the upgrade thing. Copy that upgrade file to the root directory of the stick. Do not place it in a folder. Then make sure your Spectrum's powered on, and it should pop up on the screen for you. Yeah, it says place the USB stick in the socket next to the HDMI cable, same as the steps before. Power on the Spectrum by pressing and holding the power button for a minimum of 10 seconds until you see the update screen. Release the power button, the Spectrum will reboot with the factory test removed, and you will see the initial language configuration screen. So there you go, that's just a little fix for you if you're having that problem. I've had one person so far mention something about getting a weird screen when they load it up on the YouTube channel so far. So it doesn't seem there's a lot of people that are getting this problem, but if you're one of the people that's getting it, this is the fix. So I kind of figured I'd let you know in case you're not on Facebook. Also, got one more thing to talk about while we're here. If you watched my previous video, you would have seen that Ghosts N Goblins crashed when I loaded it up. Apparently this is a known issue. I didn't realise that. It was quite ironic that I chose Ghosts N Goblins like randomly out of every single game. I just came across it and thought, yeah, that'll do. Because I was just picking some games at random that I knew to test out. And yeah, Ghosts N Goblins was one I chose. But it so happens that that is a game that is having a specific problem, and they recommended a fix for it. So I'm going to just quickly go over that fix for you, and we're going to go onto the Spectrum in a second and just test that it works. Okay, so what they're saying is that the Spectrum ROMs themselves that Retro Games Limited are using is having a bit of an issue with some of the games, Ghosts N Goblins being one of them. And they did also say this might be the case for some of the Ultimate Play the Game games as well, so this fix may work for them too. I'm not saying it will, we're not testing that today, we're just going to test Ghosts N Goblins, but if you do have any issues with any games, try this fix, it may work for you. You have to find on the internet, and I'm not going to tell you where to look before you ask, okay, so just use Google the same way I had to, because I didn't have these downloaded myself. You need the official Sinclair ROMs, and they're like the operating systems of the Spectrums basically. You need to download those, and I've put them in a folder here, so we're going to just copy that to the stick straight onto the root. And this is what it looks like. I've got all these other ones just in case. I don't know if I'm going to need them. We specifically want the 48 ROM. So that's the one you want. You've got to make sure that it is the official one. But just like I said, you can find it if you Google. And obviously we're going to put Ghosts N Goblins back on. Now, I tried this with the TZX version of Ghosts N Goblins and it didn't work. So this is only appearing to work for the snapshot version, the Z80. So you need to get hold of a copy of that one. The TZX one still wouldn't work, and I don't know if there's a way around that. I don't know if it's like a 128K, maybe you need to use the 128 ROM, but it just wouldn't work for me. So we're going to test it with the snapshot ROM, okay? Or the snapshot version of the game. So now I'm going to switch across to the Spectrum and we'll load it up and see if it works. I'll see you over there. Okay, so as you can see, we're back on the Spectrum here. So let's have a quick reminder of what Ghosts N Goblins does when you load it. Don't forget as well, like I said before, this is the snapshot file, so it's a .z80 file. We're going to select that and hit home to load. Obviously it's a automatic loader, this one. We'll go through the process as if we're working it. So I'm going to select the Kempston, even though obviously we're not going to play it. So when we press 0 to start the game, this is what happens. It crashes out to the menu, okay? That's, if you remember, if you watched the last video, that's exactly what happened for me. So I'm going to come out of that, back into the stick. I'm going to clear everything. For me, that's the green button, X. For you, it might be a key, so just check which one it is to press and clear everything. So we're going to go into the folder Spectrum ROMs. That's what we downloaded. We're going to pick 48 ROM. You could have them all loose in this folder. It doesn't really matter. It's just the way mine's lined up. So we select that using the select button or whatever button you're pressing for that. Back out using Y. And now we select the game as well. So if you notice down the bottom when I select it, both are selected. And we press auto load media like we did before. So we'll go through the same process yet again. J for joystick, 2 for Kempston. Now when we hit 0 to start game, the game starts miraculously. So there we go. That is a workaround for at least for this game. Oh, I've just realised something. It's not going to work. There's a reason that it doesn't work as well, by the way. It's not anything to do with this fix, I hasten to add. There's a step you have to perform. If you go in there to enable the Kempston joystick and then back out, it'll work. For some reason, I found that earlier today when I was doing this, that the joystick for some reason doesn't work unless you do that. And now we have Ghosts N Goblins. I'm not very good at this game, so I'll play it for about 2 seconds. Oh, Mr. Cauldron there. Oh, I'm going to lose my armor now. Oh, see, don't get greedy. That's the tip. That's the tip of the day. I was never very good at this game, even in the arcades. I absolutely loved it, but I was always rubbish at it. This plant always gets me. Oh, got him. The zombie's going to get me though. Oh, my word. I didn't realise though that you got 10 lives in this game. So there we go. As you can see anyway, it's working. It works with that fix. I don't know if it works with other games, but it might be that, you know, if you do have trouble with other games, that fix might work for you. It's definitely worth trying. I have heard people using it for the Ultimate games, but I haven't actually loaded any of them up yet, so I don't even, to be honest, I don't even know what the problem is with those games. But if you're having any problems loading any of the games, maybe it's a good idea to try this. You could also try it with any of the other ROMs if it's like a 128K game, I'm guessing, or whatever. But, you know, see if it works for you. I just thought it was a handy little tip to share with you in case you're a massive fan of Ghosts N Goblins in particular. But like I said, until we know, you know, we're going to go through a lot of these games, and I'm sure there's going to be a few that don't work. You know, even when you were doing it on emulators, you'd sometimes come across games that didn't work. I'm sure it's going to happen with this at some point. So it may be that this is a fix temporarily until they probably bring out a patch to the firmware or something. Hopefully that will be the case anyway, with a bit of luck, but you never know really. I mean, it depends kind of if they're aware of the problems, whether they're going to fix them obviously, but that's why I do download the new firmwares and use them. But some people were saying in the comments you should never do it, never use the, download the firmware if everything's working all right. But most of the time when they bring out a new firmware, it's got fixes to stuff that go wrong. So it certainly happened with the A500 Mini. There were a couple of times where games were running too fast and they brought out patches for that and stuff to the firmware and that. So I still believe in that, but I don't know what the problem was last time, and probably when the new one comes out, it's supposed to be in a couple of days time they're working on. I'm probably going to see if everybody's tested it before I download it this time, just in case. I'm a little bit nervous about using this at the moment because mine is obviously patched to 1.01, the one they were having all the problems with, because obviously I did it in the video. But it is what it is. I've just got to hope and pray that nothing goes wrong until they bring out the fix. But if you've upgraded it as well, don't worry, I'm in the same boat as you. So, keeping my fingers crossed permanently. Anyway, guys, that's enough from me. Just a quick video, this one, just to show you this little workaround. I hope it was useful. Don't forget to let me know in the comments if you're loving the Spectrum, and obviously if you've got any other issues. I mean, I can't solve everything, but I may have heard of a fix, or somebody else might be able to help you in the comments. So never be afraid to ask. And I apologize again for not getting to all the comments over the weekend. I just had a couple of days off because it was quite tiring doing 22 videos in 22 days, and I had to put a lot of things on the back burner, so I had quite a few things to catch up on at the weekend. So I will try to get to everybody's comments eventually, I promise you. I do usually make that promise, so I intend to stick to it. It's just I'll be a little bit slow getting to all of them because there was quite a few. I think on the new video itself I've got over 110, 120 comments. So it's quite a lot to work my way through. But I'll try to do it, I promise you. Thanks a lot everybody, take care, and I'll see you again soon for another video. I'm working on another Spectrum video, so just so you know, I'm not going to stop. They're in the pipeline. They'll just be a little bit slower than one every day, unfortunately. I'm only human. Thanks guys, take care, see you soon. Bye for now.